Can scientists give us a clear explanation for everything archaeologists discover? Well, the very short answer is no, they can't. The long answer is also no, but with a few conditions. Scientists will always try to make sense of things using what they know, but sometimes the evidence just doesn't add up. The things you're about to see in this video fall right into those unknowns. So join us for today's video as we count down the 15 most mysterious ancient finds that really exist. Let's start off with number 15. Iron Age busts found in a French well. In late 2019, a forgotten well in Tremesson, France, revealed an unexpected time capsule, 4 Iron Age busts, and a ceremonial banquet bucket placed with care at the bottom. The site once held a grand country estate belonging to Gaulish elites 2,400 years ago. These artifacts were deliberately burned before being placed in the well, hinting at some sort of ritual, possibly a votive offering involving fire. Despite the burn marks, the craftsmanship is still stunning. The busts show finely carved faces, and one depicts a bearded man with cropped hair and a torque, likely marking him as a leader or noble. Their realism suggests these weren't mythical figures, but people who once walked the land. The wooden bucket, though charred, survived well enough to give insight into ancient ceremonial feasts. All these pieces are now preserved at the Musée de Bretagne, where they continue to raise more questions than answers. Why were they burned? Why buried in a well? In reality, we may never know until someone makes an AI to do that. Number 14. The enigmatic lead plates of Sana'a. For well over a century, the lead plates discovered in Sana'a have sparked debate and division. Their inscriptions, etched in Greek-like letters, form words that don't match any known language, making translation impossible and meaning elusive. Some scholars have long speculated that these plates record the forgotten history of the Dacian people. Others are convinced they're forgeries crafted in the 19th century by Romanian philosopher Bogdan Patriciu Hasdu, who was known to create fake artifacts for personal amusement. The earliest documented appearance of the plates is an 1800s inventory list at the Museum of Antiquities in Bucharest. At the time, there were said to be over 200 plates. Today, only 35 are accounted for. Many of them depict detailed scenes, ancient kings, soldiers, castles, and temples. Whether they represent a lost history or a hoax layered in artistic flair, the plates still have no official explanation. The fact that no definitive origin or purpose has ever been established keeps this collection suspended in mystery. Do you have any idea about them? Number 13. The tomb of the general in Jisitang. Jian, a modest city in China's Jilin province, holds deep historical significance as the former capital of the Goguryeo kingdom. One of its most mysterious sites is the Tomb of the General, a massive stepped pyramid that's long been associated with King Jiangsu, one of Goguryeo's most influential rulers. Despite the local lore, no direct evidence confirms the tomb's occupant. The structure is impressive in scale and resembles pyramid tombs from ancient times, built with giant stone blocks and aligned with precision. Not far from it stands the Guangga Stele, a monumental stone slab erected by King Jiangsu to honor his father, King Guangga the Great. The inscriptions on the stele are written in Chinese, which has only intensified modern debates between China and Korea over historical ownership of Goguryeo's legacy. The tomb and its surrounding ruins are revered, not just for their age or architecture, but for the unresolved questions they carry, ones entangled in identity, memory, and national pride. Number 12. The Mystery Stone of Clapham. Inside London's Omnibus Theatre, tucked quietly at the entrance, stands a Roman stone with an inscription that still raises eyebrows. It's 2,000 years old, dedicated by a man named Vitus Tetricus Aelianus, a name with no presence in the historical record. What's peculiar isn't just the stone's existence, but the wording carved into it. Vitus commissioned the monument for himself while he was still alive. That wasn't a common Roman practice, especially for someone not known to be a political or military figure. No one knows what Vitus did or why he believed he deserved a personal memorial. The fact that it's been part of the theater for as long as anyone remembers doesn't help. There's no information about how or when it arrived at the building or what its journey looked like before that. With no additional records, the stone feels like a leftover sentence from a book that's gone missing. It exists, but it doesn't explain itself. Number 11. The Surgeon Sepp's tomb in Peru. In March 2022, a funerary bundle discovered at the Las Ventanas site in Peru offered something rarely seen: the complete toolkit of an ancient surgeon. Dated to around 1,000 years ago, the tomb contained over 50 bronze alloy knives, each with a sharp single edge and unusually high levels of arsenic, its purpose still unknown. Alongside the knives were awls, needles, and a mysterious piece of bark from an unidentified tree, possibly used as an anti-inflammatory or pain reliever. This is the first surgeon's grave of its kind found in northern Peru, and it paints a picture of someone held in high esteem. The surgeon was buried not just with his tools, but also with a gold mask and large bronze chest ornament, symbols of status, not mere utility. Whoever this man was, he clearly mattered. His medical skills were likely crucial to the community, and his burial suggests reverence that went far beyond the clinical. Even in death, his legacy speaks. Number 10. The Mysterious Sandstone Jars of India. In the remote stretches of Assam, India, a strange collection of massive sandstone jars was uncovered in March 2022. A total of 65 jars, each one unique in design and size, were found spread across the landscape. None of them matched, yet all shared a strange familiarity with the jars at Lao's Plain of Jars, prompting theories that they may have served similar ritual purposes. Standing at nearly 10 feet tall, these colossal vessels may have once held human remains as part of ancient burial customs. But the most baffling part? No one knows who made them. Archaeologists have ruled out any link to the region's current ethnic groups, and the local Naga people who've known about the jars for generations say they occasionally found bones and relics inside, but insist they didn't create them. Research is ongoing, but with no script, no markings, and no clear origin, it's very possible this puzzle will stay unsolved for good. Number 9. Bosnia Sip's controversial Pyramid of the Sun. In 2005, archaeologist Semir Osmanagic declared that a hill in Visoko, Bosnia, wasn't just a hill, it was a man-made pyramid, older than Egypt's and bigger than anything previously found. He called it the Pyramid of the Sun and claimed it had been built over 10,000 years ago. Osmanagic later pointed to 4 other pyramid-like structures nearby, all allegedly built by the same lost civilization. His announcement stirred excitement, and the media ran with it, but most experts in archaeology were far from convinced. Many dismissed the formations as natural, arguing that his excavation efforts damaged medieval ruins at the summit. They criticized both his conclusions and his methods. Osmanagic, unfazed by the pushback, insists his theory is valid and continues to excavate the site in search of more clues. While mainstream archaeology rejects his claims, the pyramid remains a tourist draw and a source of national fascination. Whether it's genius or pseudoscience, the structure continues to divide opinions without offering concrete proof. Number 8. The King Sepp's Mausoleum of Jiangdu. Discovered in 2014 in China's Jiangdu region, the tomb of King Lu Fei offers a rare glimpse into the world of royalty 2,100 years ago. His mausoleum, part of a 3-tomb complex, was nearly lost to quarrying. Its protective burial mound was already destroyed when archaeologists arrived. Although the tomb showed signs of ancient looting, the thieves missed over 10,000 artifacts. Inside were ornate chariots, weapons, and musical instruments, bronze, jade, silver, gold, everything you'd expect of a ruler with both military and artistic tastes. Some chariots were full-sized and likely ceremonial. Others were miniature, created just for display. While Lu Fei was known historically for his admiration of strength and warfare, the elegant instruments buried alongside the weapons suggest a softer, more refined side that history forgot. This find wasn't just a jackpot of royal artifacts, it changed the way historians see the man himself. What started as a threatened site turned into one of the richest royal tomb discoveries in recent memory. Number 7. The Lost Mummifiers of the Canary Islands. Long before Spanish settlers reached the Canary Islands in the 15th century, an entirely different people called the Guanches lived there. Very little is known about them, but what remains points to a surprisingly advanced and spiritually rich culture. They practiced mummification, similar in some ways to the ancient Egyptians. More than 100 preserved remains have been uncovered across the islands, some estimated to be nearly 2,000 years old. Their preservation techniques are still poorly understood, and there are almost no written records to explain them. The Guanches also had a striking grasp of astronomy. They carved holes into the roofs of their cave dwellings, allowing light from the moon and stars to illuminate the paintings on their cave walls at precise times. There's speculation that they might have Berber roots from North Africa, though some theories stretch as far as Viking or Celtic ancestry. Sadly, after the Spanish colonization, most evidence of their existence was wiped out. What remains are bones, stars, and questions. Number 6. The untouched tomb of a Greek noblewoman. In March 2022, archaeologists exploring the island of Sikinos made a remarkable discovery within the ancient Episkopi monument. Inside its vault, they found the untouched grave of a noblewoman named Nikai, her name preserved on an inscription. Buried in full finery, she lay undisturbed, her jewelry glittering in the darkness, gold necklaces, wristbands, a cameo-styled buckle, and vases made from metal and glass. What's baffling is that this site had already been searched and cataloged. For decades, experts assumed that everything of value had been uncovered, but Nikai's tomb had somehow remained hidden in plain sight. Some now believe the entire structure may have been built specifically to protect her resting place. But who was she? Wealthy, certainly, but beyond that, Nikai is a mystery. Her grave offers rare insight into burial practices and fashion in ancient Greece, but it also opens a new question: how many other secrets lie buried inside monuments we think we already know? Now, let's head over to Number 5. The Bighorn Medicine Wheel. At the top of Medicine Mountain in Wyoming, 10,000 feet above sea level, sits the Bighorn Medicine Wheel, a simple but powerful stone structure built by Plains tribes centuries ago. The wheel's design is quiet, a circular pattern of stones with 28 spokes radiating from the center, echoing the lunar cycle. Yet its purpose was anything but simple. It wasn't just a spiritual site, it was a precise astronomical tool. During the summer months, tribes would sit at certain points along the outer edge of the wheel, watching the sunrise and sunset align perfectly with specific stones. These alignments also mark the heliacal risings of bright stars like Sirius and Aldebaran. Built somewhere between 300 and 800 years ago, the wheel remains an ongoing connection to the past. Despite its age, it's still in use by indigenous people today, not as a relic but as a living instrument, for prayer, for ceremony, and for keeping time with the sky. Number 4. Hittite Bracelet. While plowing his field in the Turkish village of Şapınova in March 2022, a farmer hit something solid. What emerged from the soil wasn't rock, it was a 3,300-year-old Hittite bracelet made of gold, dented but still intact. The design on its surface set it apart immediately. It was the first bracelet of its kind to feature figural imagery, and the first with an elliptical bezel, a shape considered sacred by the Hittites, but previously only seen on ring seals. After careful restoration, archaeologists were able to identify the central figure in relief as the goddess Ishtar. Yet what the scene represents, or why it was lost in that particular field, remains a mystery. The field was excavated thoroughly afterward, but no additional artifacts were found. Its isolation raises more questions than answers. The bracelet has now been stabilized and prepared for display at the Shoreham Archaeological Museum, a piece of exquisite craftsmanship that somehow survived 3 millennia and a modern plow without being erased by time or accident. Number 3. Giant Armadillo Shells. When a farmer unearthed several giant shells on his land in Buenos Aires in early 2020, It didn't take long for headlines to roll in. The comparison was immediate. Each shell was the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. But these weren't just oversized armadillos. They were glyptodonts, extinct relatives of the armadillo that once roamed South America over 20,000 years ago. Built like tanks and covered in thick, domed shells, these creatures had no real predators in their time, and yet physical evidence of them is rare. These particular shells survived so well because they had been submerged in muddy riverbeds for thousands of years, buried and protected by layers of earth. Now exposed to air, sunlight, and rainfall, they risk rapid deterioration. Paleontologists moved quickly to excavate the nearly 1-ton remains before nature could reclaim them. While not strictly an archaeological discovery, these shells are a stunning snapshot of a world long gone, and a reminder of just how massive and strange our ancient ecosystems truly were. Number 2. Assyrian leather armor. This piece of armor doesn't look like much at first glance, but every inch tells a story. Found in China, this 2700-year-old leather armor is believed to have originated with the Assyrians, a culture that had mastered the delicate balance between battlefield protection and mobility before metal armor became the norm. The craftsmanship is meticulous. More than 5,000 tiny leather components, 140 larger scales, and hand-cut laces all pieced together to form something durable, flexible, and light enough to fight in. Weighing in at just 10 pounds, it offered serious defense while allowing the wearer to move quickly. The question that lingers is how it got to China in the first place. Was it carried by an Assyrian mercenary or trader, taken from a battlefield by a Chinese soldier, or does it point to a forgotten chapter of technological exchange between distant empires? Whatever the answer, this armor stands as proof that human ingenuity and cultural contact ran deeper and further than we often give the ancient world credit for. Number 1. The changing hair of the Great Buddha of Nara. Japan's Todaiji Temple is home to the Daibutsu, or Great Buddha of Nara, an enormous bronze statue nearly 50 feet tall and more than 1,200 years old. According to multiple historical records, the statue once had 966 tightly coiled bronze curls on its head. Today, there are only 492. This discrepancy has left scholars scratching their heads for decades. It's unlikely so many different records would share the same number by coincidence. Modern studies of the head reveal no space for additional curls, leading some to suspect that this might not be the statue's original head at all. The Great Buddha has undergone various repairs over the centuries, and while restorations are documented, none mention a full replacement of the head. It's an unsettling idea that one of Japan's most iconic religious figures may have been altered so significantly, with no record of when or why. Still, the statue continues to stand in serene silence, keeping the truth of its transformation to itself. If you've enjoyed watching this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in with us, and we'll see you soon in the next one.